Hi everybody, Tamara Araujo, formerly Solomon, here from the IMD class of 2012. I am doing this presentation for the BIT Alumni Conference in January 2025, the very first BIT Alumni Conference. And I am going to have a very short presentation here about digital forensics, incident response, and the BIT. I will be going fairly quickly, so feel free to pause at any time, and my contact information will be at the end if you have any questions about anything I talk about. So a little bit about me. I graduated from IMD without a real clear idea of what I wanted to do afterwards. I was good at many things and liked a lot of things and didn't really have one thing in particular that I wanted to pursue. So I ended up in sales at a tech company and then worked my way into technical support, advanced technical support, and then realized that I didn't really want to do that long term. So I wanted to learn more about this field that I had heard about in 2017 called digital forensics and did kind of a deep dive into what that was and how to get into it, and eventually landed an entry-level job at the Canada Revenue Agency as a computer forensic analyst. Computer forensic analyst and digital forensic examiner are interchangeable terms. Different companies may also call the role different things, but it's all basically the same. And then once I was with the CRA for about 2 years, I jumped over to the Alberta Law Enforcement Response Teams, where I am now. I'm with a specialized unit called the Internet Child Exploitation Unit, which handles luring child sexual assault material offenses as well as other types of offenses that are related. So what is digital forensics and incident response, also known as DFIR? So generally, the both fields deal with the analysis of digital devices or systems to provide deep dive information about an event or an issue. It can be in the context of technical problems, crimes, or security, or all three, or any combination of those three. Digital forensics in particular deals with technology as tool issues. So technology is used to commit a crime or an issue that is not necessarily technological in nature. So for example, money-focused crimes like money laundering, fraud, phishing, and phone scams all use technology to commit the crime, but those crimes were around before we had the technology that we have, except maybe phishing. But human-focused crimes like human trafficking, organized crime, cyberbullying, and child sexual assault material offenses, same thing, technology is used incidentally to commit those crimes. And this is what digital forensics aims to uncover, is the data from those devices or that technology that is used to commit those offenses. Here are some related headlines. If you see headlines like this, a digital forensics team is probably involved. In particular, the bottom headline there is recent from the last couple of weeks, and the Alberta ICE unit, which is the unit that I work for, you can see that our intake more than tripled since 2018, and as a result, hiring has also exploded in this unit. So if this is something that interests you, you should definitely look up your local ICE unit and see if they are hiring, because they probably are. Incident response, it's basically the other side of the coin from digital forensics. It's more of a security focused kind of subfield where it's more in the context of data security, data breaches, hacking, leaks, etc., and it involves technology as target issues. So DDoS attacks, database exploits, malware, technology is the target of those types of crimes or those types of issues, attacks, exploits, and is not just incidental. And so this type of issue is targeted at systems or companies or countries, and usually a specialized security team is needed in response. Here are some headlines that would indicate the use of an incident response team to respond to these things. Now, how do you get into DFIR from the BIT? So the BIT has IMD in particular, although other streams also probably have general courses that are very useful in DFIR as a field. So programming, understanding of how databases work, understanding of how hardware works, and also any cutting edge technology like about AI, machine learning, data storage, wearables. This is all really useful, especially because a lot of these systems store data in proprietary formats. So if you know how to read and interpret those proprietary formats, that is very useful for digital forensics. Other useful skills include, if you're interested in taking devices apart and putting them together again, very useful. Puzzle solving, technical writing, These are all skills that are either taught directly or indirectly in the BIT and are very useful in DFIR. Other helpful certifications include the third-party CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus certifications, CISSP, that's a security certification, the SANS GCFE. SANS is a DFIR-focused educational platform, so they have their own certifications. Same with IASIS. Some of these certifications, your employer may pay for you to actually take them or to study for them, so check with your potential employer if this is something you're interested in. They may not require you to have them in advance, but having them in advance will also probably save your employer some training money, so it's worth checking. Possible specialties in DFIR include password cracking, mobile device analysis, database analysis, vehicle forensics. All of our vehicles now have connected entertainment systems, GPS, they connect to our phones. It's a treasure trove of data. And also OSINT investigations are open source. There are others. These are kind of the main ones that I thought about. If any of these sound interesting, then digital forensics and incident response might be worth looking into for you. Just as a note too, a degree isn't required for many of these jobs, but they're useful. Also, some employers may require equivalencies. So if you don't have a tech background or other tech experience, having a degree would help make up for that. So here are just some things that I might be doing in a typical week. Obtaining forensic images, that's an exact copy of data on a particular device. Attending search warrant executions. I do often go out into the field to assist police when they're seizing devices. We preview the devices on scene so that we avoid over-seizing and reducing the amount of devices that the analyst has to look through later. Carving data from deleted space. When you delete something, it's never really deleted. A lot of the times it's recoverable, so we are specialists in recovering data and analyzing it as you would any other data. Interpreting databases and crafting custom queries, that's something we do almost every day. A lot of application data on phones, for example, is stored in SQL type databases, so knowing how to get around those databases and make queries is very useful. Taking apart a seized laptop to extract its hard drive, again, something we do almost every day. Being able to take apart a device and take out the hard drive without damaging the device is something that is practiced and is very useful. Attempting to crack passwords, analyzing internet browsing data, those are somewhat specific to ICE, but other units do them as well. Writing technical reports on findings for use by prosecutors' defense. Our reports are often used to provide analysis on seized devices that is useful in court. It's very important to be able to write clearly and concisely, even when the subject is very technical, and as a result, the judge or the lawyers involved can have an easier time coming up with their arguments and determining what exactly should be done. In many cases, the lawyers and justices involved are not very technical, so being able to write technical reports for a non-technical audience is something that we do a lot. And then lastly, I don't do this every week, but once in a while, I attend court as an expert witness to present my findings. This is the equivalent of having a technical report presented in court, and having public speaking experience or confidence in public speaking is something that is useful as well. So who's hiring? Digital forensics in particular seems to have more people directly hiring, so the federal government, the CRA, CSEC, CBSA, and Oceans and Fisheries, oddly enough, has its own team, is almost constantly hiring for digital forensics. A lot of those are entry-level positions. RCMP, cyber and tech crime units, they do hire civilians. You do not need to be an RCMP police member. Provincial police and provincial specialty law enforcement, such as Alert and BCI, Saskatchewan ICE, these may or may not hire civilians, so best to check if that's something you're interested in. Municipal police, same thing. Private industry, accounting firms often have digital forensics analysts on staff, and then also contractor possibilities to work for yourself and to provide your skills to other agencies on a temporary basis. Same thing with instant response. I tend to see more contractors on the side, but also there are big third-party security firms that get called in when there's a data breach, and those firms, all they do is incident response. That's their bread and butter. So they're always looking for incident response practitioners. And big tech companies often have their own in-house security teams that do the same thing. Again, contractor possibilities, I think, are more prevalent on the incident response side, but that could have changed. So that's it for now. If you want to learn more or just want to ask more questions, feel free to email me. Here's my email address on screen. Thanks so much, BIT alumni, for listening to this video, and enjoy the rest of the conference.